Good morning, children. This is your history class. I hope you have all read a lesson in your history book. How, when, and where. Yes, in our previous class, we have saw about what is colonial. Yes, when one country establishes control upon the economy and society of another country, which leads to social, political, economic, and cultural changes, then this is called as colonialism. Yes, and today we are going to see about surveys become important. Yes, as we already know that the British believed in the act of writing was important, and every instruction, plans, policies, decision, agreement, investigation, everything has written up and they preserved in a separate room, and they have record rooms attached in an every administrative institution also. Yes, and then the practice of surveying also became common under the colonial administration. Yes, the British believed that a country had to be properly known before it could be effectively administered. Yes, before establishing a country, they had to be properly known about the country. Yes, they need to know everything about a country, then only the establishment and administration should be very effective. Yes, by the early 19th century, detailed surveys were being carried out to map the entire country. Yes, by the early 19th century, detailed surveys were taken to map the entire country. Yes, in the villages, revenue surveys were conducted. The effort was to know the topography, the soil quality, the flora and fauna, the local histories, and the cropping pattern. Yes, all the facts seen as necessary to know about the administered region. Yes, and then what is meant by survey? Yes, survey means a study or investigation of important facts and figures regarding a particular subject, topic, or a country for acquiring additional and specific information for further study or investigation. Yes, it is survey means collecting or capturing some specific information for the further study of investigation is called survey. Yes, and during British period they believed that a survey was very important to administer our country. Yes, they took village survey, that means revenue survey in village were conducted, and for topography, the soil quality, the flora, fauna. The flora and fauna means animal life and plant life, even they took those histories also about our country, and the cropping pattern also. From the end of the 19th century, census operations were held every 10 years. And what is meant by census? Yes, census, it is an official counting of a people, and it is taken every 10 years. Yes, our recent census were taken in the year of 2011, and our next census is going to taken in 2021. Yes, these prepare detailed records of the number of people in all the provinces of India, noting information on caste, religions, and occupation. Yes, see, in the census, they have noted everything, even the caste, religion, and occupation also. There were many other surveys like botanical surveys, zoological surveys, archaeological surveys, anthropological surveys, and forest surveys. Yes, first of all they have took every surveys around our country, and then they started to establish one by one in our country. Yes, what official records do not tell. From this vast corpus of records, we can get to know a lot, but we must remember that these are official records. Yes, we are having more records, but everything is an official records. They tell us what the official thoughts, what they were interested in, and what they wished to preserve for posterity. Yes, that official records only tells about what they are interested in and what they wished to preserve. These records do not always help us to understand what other people in the country felt and what lay behind their action. Yes, these official records only says about the official things, and then these records do not tell about any other common people. Yes, for that we need to look elsewhere. When we begin to search for these other sources, we find them in plenty. Yes, when we search for those records like common people, we can find only little amount, though they are more difficult to get than official records. Yes, it is difficult than official records. We have diaries of people, accounts of pilgrims and travelers, autobiographies of important personalities, and popular booklets that were sold in the local bazaars, because during those days no printing press were available. After the invention of printing press, the newspapers were published and issues were debated in public. Letters and reformers wrote to spread their ideas. Poets and novelists wrote to express their feelings. Yes, those official records only tells about the official matters about topography, flora, and fauna, but there is no record about the common people. And if we search for those things, we can find only little by the diaries of people or otherwise autobiographies of important personalities. And after the spread of newspaper only, we can find it in some amount. Then all these sources, however, were produced by those who were literate. Yes, only educated people can make these sources like autobiography and a newspaper. From these we will not able to understand how history was experienced and lived by the tribals and the peasants, the workers in the mines or the poor on the streets. Getting to know their lives is a more difficult task. Yes, the tribal people or poor people, they don't know to write their own story. Only the literate people, they are writing their story and their surrounding story. But it is too difficult to get those people's history, like tribes, peasants, and poor peoples. Yet this can be done if we make a little bit of effort. When you read this book, you will see how this can be done. Yes, when we read this whole book in our extended, we can find more information about the tribal people, the peasants, the poor people, and other common peoples, and we can gather some news about them also. Yes, that's all children. Note down your homework. What is survey? Give examples of different types of surveys conducted. Are official records the best source of information? Explain it. What was the importance of survey during British rule? Define topography. Define census. Yes. Thank you children.